yourself first, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, my name is Hai. You can call me Hai. So I graduated from UES already 20 years ago and got my PhD in Germany in the field of behavioral finance, the same of behavioral economics as Professor Nam here. And I come back to Vietnam and become the governor of some private university, and now I'm still doing research. And my field is on entrepreneurship, behavioral finance, economics, and now I'm interested in ESG. It's my brief introduction. So this is a joint project put together me and In Quỳnh, a colleague from the banking university at UES. So the agenda is brief. We talk a little bit about the correlation between ESG and corporate performance and approach. I describe some data and what are my hypotheses and the key results, and we have more time for discussion. Thank you. Okay, what is ESG? ESG stands for environmental, social, and government practice. So it's another trend, but I think it's an obligation now, because that in 2050 the United Nations already adopted the Sustainable Development Goals for 17 goals, and every institution and also the corporate have to adopt it into the strategy and the execution. And also it's already officially announced in the FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority of England, to apply the sustainability disclosure requirement on the corporate. And also the EU, European Union, already applied the same thing, the Sustainable Finance Disclosure Regulations. So it means that ESG is not now only a recommendation, but now an obligation that force on the company and the institution has to follow. Okay, so the interesting thing is that willing for us to follow, or we have to. That's the research question. If we follow the ESG, so can it help us? Can it help us to have a more returns, have a higher valuation, have a higher valuation from the investor, etc.? So that could be a good research question. So there's some previous research that have provided some evidence, like in this paper. He addressed that the long-term investor tend to choose the stock with a higher announcement on ESG. And obviously, the financial institution, they act as an intermediary for investors. So they raise the money and then invest into the corporate, and then they have to imply the ESG category in the investment scheme. So those financial institutions will adapt the operations and the service to meet the demand of the investor. And also the policymakers are also put ESG into the regulations, and also the scheme for that they want to make the changes that impact the social economics. So I think that there is a motivation for the paper. So we try to link with the company, with the more responsible in ESG announcement, in the performance and their activities, and we have information from the announcement for every year for the report, the yearly report of the company, and we see whether if the company shows that they are more responsible for ESG, and what is the reaction of the population, of the investor about their performance. So I think that for research approach is simple. We try to measure the ESG, we try to measure the performance, and also we try to find the difference before and after. So easily, okay? So I use the event study between treatment and control group. So we have the two groups here. The first is with ESG, the other is not. Okay, and see the difference. So I applied it's like a simple t-test. We test for difference, and then we added more technical stuff like different in different tests, and we run the regression to see whether any difference between the two. So we have to think about the interaction factors here. If there is a treatment, is there any announcement in the ESG and the event? So I have two events here. First is the implied of the ESG from year 2016, and the others is after the COVID. There are two events that I want to measure. Okay. So this is the model. So I try to measure the performance. So performance by abnormal returns. It's a simple concept. And the second is for stock volatility. I think that the two terms can measure the firm performance. Okay. So if there is an effect, and then there should be gradually changes in the abnormal returns of the stock. And yes, there should be some volatility on the performance of the stock price. Okay, that's the model. And result. Any table?
No, it cannot show the table.
I just send it somewhere.
you have to tell your table.
Let me check again. But okay, we will check the table. But the result is similar. That first is for.
So, but please explain the treatment 25, 50, 75. You have three treatment here, right? In the go back one slide. That three treatment groups, 25, 50, 75. What are they?
I think it's over the paper.
I haven't read the paper, but
I think we should copy factors that potentially affect the performance. So we control for the debt to total asset, debt to total equity, the current ratio, and return on equity, firm age, and also PE and PB, the price per earning and price per book value. And after we shut through the financial report, and then we try to identify the ESG threshold to see whether it's done on the level of 20%, 50%, and 70%.
so I think the statistic for the ESG here, the minimum is 6, the maximum is 97. So it means that the scale from 0 to 100, right?
Yeah.
And then we have three thresholds.
Yes. So then the result. What I expected is rich. So we have a positive relationship.
Yeah.
If a company increase their ESG threshold, and then they have a higher abnormal returns. try to see.
Actually, the impact of the higher threshold is smaller than the lower threshold. You look at it.
Yes. So for company with the lower, the impact is smaller.
Smaller. No, if you look at, can you go back to the result of here? Yeah. So the 25 have bigger
Okay.
coefficient.
Yeah. Yes. Good. Yes, and for the stock volatility, that's the minus size here. So I don't know what is the root cause behind that, but it may be related to the risk. If a company pronounce that they are more responsible for ESG, and then the investor think that it control good risk control.
Yeah, so that results make sense in terms of like if you apply, if you have a higher ESG score, and then the volatility of your stock is reducing. The -1.
We put more effort on sustainability, etc. So
Yeah.
the investor will highly evaluate it.
Yeah. That's correct.
Okay. It is the simulation similarly. And I have done some rodent tests. And try to figure out interaction terms. And the results are similar, so there also has some interaction, but the results and the size is still the same. So we conclude the same as the other test. This is some simulation.
Okay, I think that give us like the overall
Yes.
pictures of your study. So you are all right. So
Yes.
now I would like to invite discussion. Your discussion is that do not adopt the ESG policy, and one group is that the treatment group that adopt the ESG policy. But in both groups you have the like before and after.
Yes. That is not an easy task to do, but we just apply on a yearly base. Yeah. Because we cannot have a further result, further information.
I don't remember in your methodology you apply the BSM propensity score marking also, or just different.
No, just different.
I think BSM is also can be applied for this case.
Okay.
It's simpler than the difference.
Okay.
In which you don't need to know the before and after adopting the policy.
Okay.
You just have two groups. One group is like not adopting, the other one adopting. One group is a low ESG score, and the other group is a like higher score. And you
Yes.
compare.
I think I will add it into the paper. Thank you for your comments.
Yeah.
Report for the firms. Yeah. And for thinking about that. I can address it only the financial performance or stock price performance of the firm. It could be closely linked to the result. And for firm performance in general, we can have more proceed for measuring it. I'm still thinking of that. So like I could ask for Tobin skill for the financial performance, ROA, ROE, and also Tobin skill. I think I will reserve it for later research. Okay.
And you know, if someone asking that question,
Yes.
one of the reasons is that you already run the models with like Tobin, like all the variable but insignificant, and then you just hide it.
To be honest to say.
Okay, that is the research process. But anyway, but in your paper, because when in the paper when he used the two specific dependent variable like this, he has to argue why he used that one, right? Yeah.
And the ESG scores that I just divided into threshold and try to see whether the score of that firm is falling to the threshold. Then
But you say that there are two kinds of ESG score, right? The combined one.
Different ESG score. Because I see the score, your score, ESG score come from 0 to 100, right?
Yeah.
So these score come from the third party. They measure the ESG score,
Yeah.
including many companies, and then they come out with the score. So I would like to know that what database you use, and then because if you use ESG score, it's different with ESG combined score. And then I just would like to say that, for example, the time you say you take from 2016 to 2022, right? And then this period, the ESG score maybe is they are calculated different way. For example, 2016 to 2018 or 19, I remember, will be different with 2019 to 2022. The methodology, if you use the database from Refinitiv, so that's it. I think that's the small problem for the data. So I just would like to confirm
Yeah,
that.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
good point. But I have to say sorry. I will ask my colleague.
We'll make that in that.
Yeah.